This estate sale was 2 doors down from me, and these are what I walked out with. I spent $70 on these beautiful nightstands, and watch how I transform them. My favorite side quest is finding things behind drawers. Happy birthday. Wow, I'm never gonna sing again. Okay, so we're degreasing here with Cred Cutter, which is my favorite degreaser of all time. It is literally the best. It's so funny. I feel like a lot of my recent flips have been from my neighbor's furniture, but you gotta take what you can get. You know what I'm saying? After the degrease, I'm gonna go ahead and scuff sand with 220. My sander sounds like a teenage girl screaming with these sped up clips. Listen. Anyway, I'm scuff sanding with 220 so I can get a better adhesion with the paint I'm going to use. I had plans to paint the body and refinish the top, but we'll get into the top part later. Once I'm done sanding here, I'm just going to clean up with mineral spirits. Once that's dry, we're going to go in with Fusion paint and shade Acadia Pear. I'm just starting on the drawers. I had to keep the original hardware to these because I really thought that they were a nice style. Because I bought the nightstands, I didn't want to have to spend my budget on hardware as well. Here I am just cleaning the body of the nightstand. I'm gonna get into the hardware, which I just did rub and buff in shade Antique Gold. To be honest, this looked so ugly in my lighting. I was kind of nervous for how it was gonna turn out, but they actually turned out really good once they were on the drawers. See? Boom. This was later that evening. I was scuff sanding the body with 220 grit as well because the body is getting painted. Shout out to my father-in-law. He actually repaired this back right leg for me that I mentioned was broken in the beginning of the video. Now for the top, I tried to sand through all the grits starting from 80 grit to 220 grit. And the veneer honestly was just in really bad shape, needed a lot of spots filled. So I decided to go ahead and just paint the top as well because you could see all the damages pretty clearly. And I believe that if I were to stain it, it would make it worse. It would highlight all of the defects that are in the wood. So I filled all the necessary cracks and holes with putty, cleaned with mineral spirits, and then I went in with the Fusion paint again, taking my brush in a horizontal direction for that first coat. This paint has awesome full coverage. Most of the time you don't need 2 coats, but I always like to go over with the second coat doing a vertical motion. It's almost kind of like a crisscross pattern. What this does is it really helps eliminate that streaky finish that you get whenever you use a brush. At some point, I would love to invest in a paint sprayer, but right now it's just not in the budget. If you guys have any recommendations for paint sprayers, please let me know. I am all ears. I'm just reinstating this bottom panel here with a nail. It just was kind of bowing out, so I added a couple of finish nails. The drawer slides on this nightstand are a center mount, so it takes me a little bit to wiggle those bad boys in, but I got it. And voila! These sold in less than 24 hours for $350. I love how these turned out. I will go ahead and list my cost and my profit above. And thank you guys for watching.